He actually worked as a lion tamer in a circus. Can you believe that? Yeah, I couldn't believe it either, so I dug into it a bit. Apparently, back when he was a teenager, this would have been around 1958, since he was born in 1943, he got a summer job with a travelling circus. He didn't run away to join the circus or anything dramatic like that. He just saw the gig advertised and thought, who's going to turn that down? His name back then was actually Ronald Walken, by the way. He didn't start going by Christopher until later, when he was working as a dancer.
Okay, but taming lions at 15 sounds pretty hardcore. Was he like actually in the ring with a bunch of roaring lions, cracking a whip and all that?
Well, not exactly. He downplayed the danger a lot. The circus was owned by a guy named Terrell, who was the real lion tamer and had this big act with a dozen lions. Walken was more like a trainee or assistant. As part of the show, they dressed him up in a matching outfit to make it look like he was Jacobs' son, which was a publicity gimmick. After Jacobs finished his main act, he'd send most of the lions out, leaving just one behind for Walken to work with. Her name was Sheba, and Walken always said she was an old lioness, super sweet, and more like a dog than a wild animal.
A dog, really? I mean, it's still a lion. What did he even do with her?
He'd go into the cage, wave a whip around, and get Sheba to do tricks. Stuff like sitting up, rolling over, or giving a little roar for the crowd. He always said it wasn't as dangerous as it sounded because Sheba was so tame. He'd even pet her, and she'd rub her head on his leg like a house cat. Walken's a big cat lover apparently, which is probably why he took the job in the first place. He saw it in a trade paper, applied because he liked cats, and ended up spending the summer doing this.
That's wild, but I guess it makes sense for someone like him. He's always had that unpredictable energy, you know? Did that circus gig lead him into acting or something?
Not directly, but he did say it was one of the most important experiences of his life. He called himself a jack of all trades in show business back then, since he was already doing little acting gigs and dancing as a kid. His mum was super into the idea of her kids being in entertainment, so he and his brothers were on TV shows and stuff from a young age. The lion taming thing was just one of those random jobs he picked up as a teen. After that summer, he went back to more traditional showbiz, dancing, acting, and eventually changing his name to Christopher when he was performing in a nightclub act in the early 60s.
Huh, that's so cool. I can just imagine a young Christopher Walken with that intense stare of his telling a lion to sit. I wonder if he ever used that in a movie role.
Right, it totally fits his whole vibe. He never played a lion tamer in a movie, which is kind of a shame because that'd be perfect for him. But you can see how that fearlessness might have helped him take on all those crazy roles, like the unhinged Vietnam vet in The Deer Hunter or the creepy brother in Annie Hall. The guy's always been a bit of a wild card. Anyway, the circus gig only lasted that one summer, and then he moved on to dancing and acting full time. Pretty incredible start for a kid from Queens, though.